Alright everyone, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Christina, aka That Variety Nerd, and today we are gathered here for a special Friday the 13th edition of Friday Night Smackdown. We're just a couple weeks out from Royal Rumble. I'm already stoked for the Royal Rumble. I love Royal Rumble. It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I've got no shame in my game in admitting that. It's just always fun to watch. Like, there's no other way around it. But before we dive into this week's episode of SmackDown and SmackDown reactions, wrestling Twitter's been a little wild this week, or at least it's been for the full year so far, but especially this week. We've been seeing a lot of reports on, the WWE sale and so forth. I haven't really said anything because of the fact that, I'm a very skeptical human being, and, until WWE themselves say something, I'm just not going to believe anything. That sort of thing. Or unless if something gets confirmed by WWE themselves, I'm just straight up not going to believe it, / entertain it, really. That's just my thing. I like to go straight to the source. We call them primary sources, right? And just, be a little careful out there, because we're seeing a lot of, reports and sources say types of stories. And if you can't find, a verifiable source on there, just take it with a grain of salt and just carry onward. Apparently, the whole WWE sale thing, the whole mess that was going on earlier on in the week, it started in Reddit, which, Reddit, you can get some interesting tidbits from there, but, that's about it. When you're looking for these topics to kind of write about, you can get your topics and, little leads, as we call them in journalism land, from social media, but the problem is you've got to follow up on them. You've got to go through and confirm things and fact check and that sort of thing. So again, just be careful, be mindful of what you're sharing and also what we're posting about this stuff, especially because this is something that once WWE gets sold, that's going to be on every single publication pretty much, because it's WWE. It's the most famous and most well-known wrestling company in the entire world, and it's a publicly traded company on top of that too, so it's going to cause a lot of mainstream media attention. It's a big freaking deal, but just be careful out there. There's just a lot of negativity on wrestling Twitter right now, and it's just, some of the stuff's really been bringing out some of the worst in everybody, and I'm like, but yeah, let's all just be careful about what we're sharing on Twitter, what we're reporting, and what we're consuming, and just basically just wait until we actually get something confirmed from WWE themselves. I think that's probably the best course of action. That's the best course of action I'm going. I've had the thought of because they do have that list that I think it was CNBC they put out about the potential companies and options that WWE has and stuff like that. I've thought about putting that video out as a a predictions kind of thing, kind of breaking everything down, because we're already getting a lot of the media conglomerate stuff mixed up on the interwebs, and well, this happens to be one of these cases where my peanut butter and chocolate mixed together. So if you guys want me to have a video, something, to kind of break everything down a little bit more in terms of the options, maybe a prediction or two, then I'll go ahead and do that. I did something similar when we were comparing the WWE Network to Peacock a little while back, about 2 years ago almost now. So I'll go ahead and link that down below. Again, some of that information, it's a couple years old. A lot of changes can happen in media, as we all know by this point. So there's that. But just letting you know, it's a thing. We sort of did a basic breakdown of, some of the major organizations involved and why it made sense for WWE to go to Peacock for their streaming and stuff like that. That aside, let's go ahead and dive into the reaction. We've got the Intercontinental Championship on the line between Gunther and Braun Strowman, and of course we've got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I think that says it all. I don't think that needs any further introduction. So grab your snacks, grab your choice of beverage, get comfy and cozy, and let's get to it, friends. Alright, our pal Braun Strowman has officially swapped out the red pants after several weeks for a pair of white pants. And you know what? I think it looks good on him. See, I know we have a lot of people on the show that, kind of repeat outfits and stuff, but I think what made it funny for me was just, the whole entrance. Because you have Braun Strowman, just, the entrance goes, and then he's just, storming down to the ring half the time. But hey, we're starting off with a title match, and this should be interesting. I gotta see what happens. Oh my god, that is bright. It's a cool entrance, I'm just never prepared for that bright light. How is Gunther a monster? He looks like a freaking world champion. He doesn't look like a monster. What are we going on about? Okay, see, that's a nice thing. Okay, I like the story about Braun's boots that we're getting tonight. That's cool. You know what, just for Braun Strowman's boots and that really cool story right there, that deserves a clap. Alright, here we go. We're fighting around ringside. Well, to be fair, the bad blood's been brewing between these two for like several weeks now. Even like during that World Cup tournament. So this has been kind of bubbling up for a little while, I think, right? I thought for a split second he was going to try to run towards the ropes and do something. I'm like, Braun, what are we doing? I'm really entranced by the commentary right now because it's like they're actually focusing on like the little details of the match, like how he's going after the arm and, you know, kind of how Gunther, even though he's like a bigger dude, you know, being 6'4", 250 pounds and all that, like, he's still being smart about this whole situation because, well, Braun's still bigger than him. So, I like the little details that we're getting on commentary, because it adds to the story, and that's what we're here for. We're here for a story, and we're here for a good match. When was Braun the Intercontinental Champion? I don't remember this. Okay, so Braun Strowman won the Intercontinental Championship January 31st, 2020. So almost 3 years ago on Smackdown. See, that's what we're here for. We fact check in real time here as we're doing our reactions. And oh boy, there goes Imperium after Braun now. Again, you all said it on commentary. He's a smart dude. Alright, we got Braun with a huge scoop slam of sorts. And the cherry on top of this match so far is that the crowd seems really into it, and that always helps. Ooh, he just did like a backward somersault, Braun did. Holy crap, okay, that was cool what Braun just did right there. He did like this kind of like back somersault thing, but then he kind of lifted Gunther up and got back up onto his feet, and then like just back suplexed him. I know that probably just sounded terrible the way that I know that probably made a little to no sense, but if you watch the clip, it was really freaking cool. So that alone deserves another clap. See, Braun got 2 claps from me this week so far. Braun's crushing it in this match, so is Gunther, but I mean, I'm really impressed with Braun in this match. I think he needed this match because he's had some like good moments and stuff like that since he's came back. But like this is main event Braun Strowman right here that a lot of us remember. That dropkick by Gunther is just always so cool to me. Oh, that was close. That was really close. Oh god, we're going to the top turnbuckle. Oh no. I'm nervous, y'all. I'm nervous. Oh no, okay. What's going on up here now? Oh god, I heard something go up against the post right there. Y'all, this match gets a clap from me because I was thoroughly entertained. It didn't feel like it went 25 minutes, even with the commercials. And honestly, this was just a great opening match. The crowd was really into it. Gunther did a great job per usual. And I think Braun really, you know, this is one of these examples of looking strong in defeat, right? And like, even if you lose your match, like, you're still kind of a winner in a way, right? Like, I think Braun really needed this match just because it's like, he's had some solo matches so far since he's been back, but I mean, this was definitely, you know, like next level, I think, for his return, I think. Because, I mean, Braun Strowman was in that main event scene, like, during his first run quite a bit. So that kind of brought me back to it. It's like, okay, this is main event Braun Strowman that we needed to see for a little while. Because he's had some, you know, decent matches since coming back, but I think this was the one that we needed from him, I think. Okay, so we have Rey Mysterio now making his way down to the ring. I'm assuming it probably has to do something with Karrion Kross, right? Remember, Cole Ricochet qualified for it. Not everybody declared for the Royal Rumble. Some of them had to qualify. We still don't know who's able to qualify or what the criteria is for declaring versus qualifying. We still don't have that spelled out yet. Come on, Adam Pearce. Get it together. Ray, we saw the clip. It's fine. Okay, so we're talking about Dominik, okay. But he's over on Monday Night Raw, like you're on SmackDown. Okay, but he kind of provoked you into coming out here and addressing this whole thing. And is Karrion Kross gonna get involved? Okay, well there he is. Because, like, Kross had, like, the tarot cards, and, you know, that was who he was going after, was Rey Mysterio for a little bit, in between the Madcap Moss situation. Okay, now this looks like it's straight out of, like, a TV show or, like, a movie or something with their entrance. I don't know, there's just something really cool about it, especially with Karrion Kross. He was kind of like, with how he's got, like, the jacket and the tie and stuff. I don't know, it just kind of screams, like, you know, kind of cool, like, anti-hero action movie almost. Shoot, Dominik's doing all the mind games for Karrion Kross this time. Okay, they just called Scarlet the Siren of Sin, and I think that's awesome. See, it's the details on the subtitles that you pick out. I remember watching that Royal Rumble. I was excited when Rey Mysterio won. Oh my god, that was 17 years ago. I turned 27 this year. Oh boy. Oh, so he's getting right to the root of the issue. Oh my god, it's all connecting. These storylines are connecting, people! He's going in hard. I mean, I thought that, like, you know, Dominik was kind of, like, getting to Rey, because that was the whole reason why Rey came to SmackDown, if you remember from the very first reaction video that we did. Like, Rey came here for the fresh start, and now it's all kind of bubbling up, and it's all you know, he's trying to run away from the whole situation. But Kross is like, nope, nope, not this time. Okay, that was very swift how we got right into the cross jacket like that. This was a good little segment. I quite enjoyed it. It's tying Rey's, like, arc with Dominik and how he's kind of running away from his problems instead of kind of facing them head on almost. And it's like Karrion Kross is kind of like the roadblock that's kind of reminding Rey that he's running away from his problem with Dominik. Does that make any sense? I think it does, hopefully. I don't know, but I gotta see what happens next. Alright, here we go. We got some strikes from the start from both of them. Okay. Nice counter right there from Xia Li. Okay, okay. We haven't seen a single Royal Rumble qualifying match for the women's side of things. So we have one Royal Rumble qualifying match for the dude side of things, but not the women's side of things. Got it. That was a nice throw by Xia Li. I agree with you, Cole. Oh, she missed that kick right there. Oh, there goes Tegan. Yep, that's it. I'm still a little confused as to why they were wrestling each other, because I'm like, okay, well, they both really could have used a win right there. But, you know, it was a serviceable match, so... Okay, so we have another spooky segment, but this time from the Viking Raiders in Valhalla. Okay, is this gonna be like the ones that we had like for several weeks in a row? Okay, sentenced to battle. Okay, Drew and Sheamus and suffering awaiting. Okay. Alright, well that just happened. Well, I mean, it kind of like, they basically showed back up, like, in a digital exclusive, like, after Smackdown went off the air. So I'm like, okay, at least, you know, they're doing something with them, right? I mean, it's Drew and Sheamus, too. So I'm like, okay, we got a good tag team with the Viking Raiders. We know they're a good team together. Okay, next week we're getting a tag team tournament. Okay. Okay, but are we gonna get a bracket this time right away? Because for that World Cup tournament, we didn't get a bracket until, like, the semifinals. So I'm really hoping we get a bracket as soon as possible. Oh, I saw the QR code. Hang on. Hang on. Alright, so right before we got to the commercial break, we got the QR code. I'm pulling it up here. I'm not missing anything this week. Please tell me somebody on Twitter grabbed the QR code. I'm sure somebody did. Because we haven't had one of those for a little while. And we saw Uncle Howdy on Monday Night Raw. We saw him. Oh, shoot. Okay, so the QR code led to, our Firefly Funhouse friend right here. Okay, so I took a look-see-poo at the video during the commercial break here that the QR code led to, because everybody was plastering it on Twitter, and it shows Bray Wyatt here, basically literally slipping into darkness. Give it a second here. I'm concerned. It's also Friday the 13th, so... brace ourselves for this pitch black match and sit in the dark during these segments. Ooh, I gotta show you guys something really cool while Bray's taking his good old time going down for his entrance, right? So I had this in my list for a little while, and I picked up puzzling again as one of my hobbies since graduating. Look at this bad boy that I found. It's an all-black puzzle in honor of this pitch black match. As soon as that pitch black Mountain Dew's out, we're grabbing it. Okay, but are we going to address the Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy situation from Monday Night Raw? Okay, so we have a rocking chair in the middle of the ring now. Oh boy. We're going back to the original Bray Wyatt. That's a cool visual right there, where how he's like sitting in the chair and there's like the shadow right in front of him. So he revealed that he was Uncle Howdy, but wait, this is another Wyatt. This is another version of Wyatt. But we saw two different people. How is that possible? Or if somebody was playing as Bray Wyatt, playing as a character based on Bray Wyatt. A baptism in the dark? Okay, I'm concerned now. Oh snap, we got the Wyatt family screen. But we had an Uncle Howdy sighting on Monday Night Raw, and we didn't address that? What do you mean we're not going to address what happened on Monday Night Raw? We all saw that clip with Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy. Are they going to follow? Oh no, they're waiting until frickin' Monday. Oh no. That's when I'm going to frickin' Monday Night Raw, of course. So does that mean that he kind of had, like, people playing as him, playing as different versions of him then? Because that's what we're adding it up to, right? We've got, like, 2 more weeks until Royal Rumble, and I feel like I'm even more confused every single week at this point. Alright, here we go. We got Liv versus Raquel. We got this started because they were talking about the Rumble backstage. Liv was going on about how she was going to be the #1 entrant and go all the way, which we haven't seen in a Women's Rumble yet. And then Raquel was going on about how strong she was and how this match was sort of built for her, and she has a point there. And Liv got mad and slapped her across the face. And that's how we got to this point here. They got a match with each other, and that's what brought us here. So we have a speed versus strength match here. There we go. That's the way to word it. Well, if there's 30 people in the match, you're going to have that one part of the match where you have like 10 people eliminating one person. So, Raquel could get eliminated pretty easily if everybody's like, alright, we need to get her out of here. Liv, what are we doing? Why are we hitting our head against the turnbuckle? Oh, well played. She tossed her over the top rope. Well played. Like, is Liv Morgan kind of like the ambiguous character that we all cheer for because we think that she's cool? Because, like, she's doing a lot of things that aren't, like, meant to be, like, good guy things. And Raquel's been kind of, like, launched into, like, one of the top, like, good guy spots, right? On the women's roster and that sort of thing. Because, like, we've been cheering her on against Ronda the past several weeks and stuff like that. And she's been, like, Shotzi and so forth. So, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Wait, what is Liv doing? Liv, oh my god. This is not an Extreme Rules match. Why are we setting up a table? Like, wouldn't this be a DQ if somebody gets put through the table? See, Michael Cole's even bringing this up. Like, what are we doing, Liv? Okay, well, Raquel just got off the table. That's smart. She literally swatted Liv out of the air. That's great. This was just a really confusing match. I think that's fair. Is that a fair thing to say? Very confusing. Alrighty, here we go. We've got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I don't think this needs any further introduction, but I just don't like where anything is going at Royal Rumble, y'all. Like, because of the whole match coming up with Roman and Kevin, this is the closest that, like, someone's gotten to Roman in quite some time. Arguably, probably since Seth Rollins, like, mind games wise and stuff like that. Oh, ouch. I felt that over here. Oh, boy. Oh boy. Well, they had matches against each other, like, not in bingo halls. Like, they probably had some of those matches in bingo halls, but not all of them were in bingo halls. And, like, the reason why so many people are really into this story is because it has a little bit of everything. It's got drama, it's got betrayal, it's got, new teams, it's got friendship, it's got, like, life challenges and stuff. And, some of it's pretty freaking relatable, right? Like, we've always wanted someone and people to just accept us and that sort of thing in our lives at one point. And sometimes we might be a Sami Zayn and we're really trying to get somebody's love and approval, right? But it's like they keep setting all these challenges, and then it's like, and then you really start to question it. Like, is this really worth it? And maybe Sammy might eventually get there. I don't know. I don't know. And that, my friends, is a very brief textual analysis with Christina here. And text in the world of media can mean anything. It doesn't mean an actual book. Ooh, nice move right there from Sammy. We're back from the break, and Sammy's just trying to just beat Kevin Owens right here. Okay. We've got some kind of a superplex type of thing happening right here. Wow, Kevin got some good air for that splash. That deserves a clap right there, too. Good on you, KO. Good on you. That was cool. Did you just see how much air this dude got at that splash? Yeah, when is Sami gonna eventually join the Bloodline? Like, that's going on just as long as this Bray Wyatt project's been going on for. But I mean, like, this is cinema right here, as some people have been putting it. So, that like, spinning powerbomb thing that Sami Zayn always does is always cool to me. I don't know why, it just looks cool. Oh boy, here we go. Hockey fight. That's been my other thing since I moved over here to the new place. Like, I've just been watching a bunch of hockey a couple nights a week. It's been great. Oh man, they're both out. Oh, well, that's a way to go to commercial right there. Okay, we got a "This is awesome" chant going on. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. You've got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in a match, so it's automatically going to be good. Oh boy, what's Kevin doing? What in the world was that? He just, like, went for, like, a suplex of sorts, but, like, he kind of rotated it or something. What in the world was that? Oh, snap, the Usos just got in here. I thought the plan was for Sammy to take out Kevin Owens, and I think Sammy's got the same expression on his face, too. I'm guessing this is the point where we're going to see some fractures in the bloodline, because I don't think Roman, like, approved this. Like, this has been bubbling for a while now, but I really think that this is probably the first big fracture since War Games with Sammy and the bloodline and whatnot. Roman's gonna have to start putting everybody in timeout. He's just gonna be like, alright, y'all, go home for a week. Just let Sammy do his freaking thing. See, that's what we're all saying, Sammy. In a way, this all kind of makes sense, though, because Jay's always sort of been, like, the one that's kind of pushed the hardest against Roman out of everybody in this group. And so I'm thinking, like, there's going to be some more fractures along the way. And I think that this is definitely going to be a turning point, I think. Not necessarily the turning point, but a turning point. We're going to have to see what happens, and I need to know what Roman Reigns has to say about all this. So we're going to have to see what happens next week. I'm already interested. I need to know what happens next, because Sammy looked very hesitant towards the end there, right? Right. So we're going to have to see what happens. But up until that point, we had a good little match going on, so thumbs up, and plot development. So that's lovely. Alrighty, so final thoughts for this week's episode of SmackDown. Dude, this one flew by very quickly this week. I think the last couple of weeks or so have been flying by really quickly, but especially this week. You know, every match pretty much had a purpose in one way or another. There were a couple matches where I had no idea who to cheer for, because it was mainly like, okay, I'm cheering for Liv, I'm supposed to cheer for Raquel, and then, okay, I'm kind of cheering for Sami, because, you know, he's just very lovable at this point, and he's a national treasure. He's an international treasure, y'all. And then you've got Kevin Owens, because he's Kevin Owens, right? So outside of that, I mean, otherwise, you know, the matches were, you know, at least serviceable, you know. Otherwise, the matches were pretty good, you know, they were serviceable to great. The great matches, of course, if you had to watch one match from the show, definitely check out that Intercontinental Championship matchup, because that was great. I think everybody benefited from that match, if we're being honest now. But of course, we got a little bit of plot development going on between Rey and Karrion Kross, and kind of that overlapping arc with Dominik, which I thought was really good to bring in. And yet they didn't even bother bringing in, like, the Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy mess from Monday Night Raw. And it's like, is Bray Uncle Howdy? Like, we saw two people, so it's like, is this just like an illusion that we were seeing this entire time? I don't know, but when we got to the QR code, it brought us up to Bray Wyatt and, you know, in the Mr. Rogers sweater, turning into the Fiend. So I'm wondering, are we gonna get the Fiend in the Pitch Black match? Because I feel like that would make some kind of sense, right? Like, what version of Bray Wyatt are we gonna get in that Pitch Black match coming up, right? Yeah, a lot of developments this week, lots of moving pieces, so I'm already interested to see what's gonna happen for next week. But let me know what you all thought about this week's episode of SmackDown down in the comments down below. And make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you get notifications around here, and that sort of thing. So on that note, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one.